Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, the upgrading of the Fiji's credit rating from B+ to BB- by Standard & Poor's, Mr. Speaker, sir, is obviously most welcome. I'd like to thank the honourable member for her question, but I'd rather not give my take on the reasons for the upgrade, but I'd like to quote, Mr. Speaker, sir, from the report itself as to why Standard & Poor's said that Fiji's rating actually needs to improve from B+ to BB-. And I quote, Mr. Speaker, so there are 4 reasons they've given. The first reason, Mr. Speaker, they've given, number 1, I quote, "We have greater confidence in policy continuity, Mr. Speaker, sir, in Fiji following the elections of November 2018, unquote. 2, quote, "The Fijian economy is entering its 10th consecutive year of economic growth, despite severe damage inflicted by Tropical Cyclone Winston in 2016, unquote. 3, quote, "We believe the Reserve Bank of Fiji has generally demonstrated operational independence during the past decade, unquote. 4, quote, "We expect net government debt to be stable as the government begins to consolidate its fiscal position," unquote, Mr. Speaker, sir. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, what the Standard & Poor's is saying, there are the 4 reasons that they've given, primarily because of fiscal consolidation 2019-2020, and the consistency in the policies of the government, Mr. Speaker, sir, which we've continuously said, and of course they've again validated the fact that we've been growing for the past 10 years. There's no doubt, Mr. Speaker, sir, that there has been a general panic in the markets in Fiji and of course worldwide, and I see later on in the week there's a question about the world economy, but as we know, and I'd like to just reiterate the point and preempt it perhaps, is that we see our major trading partners like Australia. Real estate prices in Sydney has dropped, in fact, which is completely unheard of. The Australian dollar is now the lowest it's been in comparison to the US dollar since 2009. I think it hovers around at the moment to 67 to 68 cents, Australian cents to the US dollar. And of course, that can have an impact on us, but of course because we're not completely consumed by the global economy, we have some form of buffer. But Mr. Speaker, sir, the liquidity rate in Fiji at the moment is at $600 million, double compared to the end of last year. Foreign reserves above $2 billion. Inflation is low at around about 0.7% in July. And government debt is a sustainable level of below 50%, around 47.5% of GDP. So these are the general macroeconomic indicators, Mr. Speaker, sir, that has led Standard & Poor's to give Fiji a rating. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.